Let's see if this works. Alright. I think I'm live. Here, let me... Okay. I didn't really feel like making a thumbnail for this one, to be honest. Hello, Sunny Q. Hello, Robotnik. Hello, Skeldark. I haven't done a stream in ages. I don't know how the audio quality is going to be because I've been working on my computer in the background between videos and projects and stuff, so I really don't know. Why the screen? Okay. How it's going to sound. Versus Nova is a little different than before. Hello, Blood Boy. Start with extra 10. This one feels like I don't know the Balatro meta very well. I'm still very new to the game. But it feels like the green deck is conceptually one of the strongest. Like, it almost feels like you can kind of do anything with it. Hello, Alexandra. Hello, Balls. I can work for this. What do you think of Ruin graffiti? Just like the fact that Ruin has graffiti in general? Or is there a specific assumption I'm supposed to have with graffiti from Ruin? Yeah, like I said, I'm still not quite sure. I don't know if the green deck can beat Goku. I believe in the green deck, though. This isn't what I wanted. I really want a 10. Yeah, I guess we'll just play the pair because I've got nothing else. Well, I got through the first blind. Congratulations to me. Favorite FNAF game? It's still FNAF 3, I would say. It does the best build up in the story. Well, it's just current. That's a really good long-term one, depending on how that scales. Let's try those two together. Maybe we just go buffoon pack hunting. How the mask works in Ruin is such a weird thing in general. Okay. Give me a 10. Give me a 10. Okay. Give me a 10. Six, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I just need a 10. Give me a 10. I probably will play Rivals of Aether on stream again someday. I just could not be... I'm going to discard the pair. It's not good. I just don't know when. Alright, 2 pair will work. But to expand upon FNAF 3 being my favorite sum, I like its story, I like its slow burn reveals more than most FNAF games. Like, it does, in my opinion, a lot of what FNAF in general tries to do some of the best. The only issue is, I think, is the office, and I would clean up the camp. Like, if you take away the static, in fact, I can show this on stream. I'm trying to think, How is this? Okay, that is what the screen is. So it's whatever's on my monitor will be visible. So let me pull up, because I want to show it, because it's really interesting to look at, and this is a totally chill game I can do this with. The FNAF 3 renders are actually really detailed and well lit. Like, they're actually much more, there's a lot more contrast in the colors than you can actually see in the base game. The only issue with the FNAF 3 renders is the static over them, which isn't even that bad when you're playing it, especially in the proper aspect ratio, but when you're watching it, FNAF 3 is the worst game to watch because knowing where Springtrap is such this game of listening to audio cues and guessing where he is based on them, because there's stuff like the static kicks up more and more the further he gets to you, and the ambience kicks up the more and more he gets to you. So it's like all this game about small cues and stuff. When you really know how it works on a technical level. It's the opposite of most FNAF games where with FNAF 1 and 2, they become the most repetitive and logical the more you learn them. And FNAF 4 is kind of the same way, but FNAF 3 gets more interesting and nuanced the more and more you know about it. And like I like the idea of 3 more because it gets you to engage with the cameras, which are some of the most interesting and unique parts of FNAF 3. And you know, Springtrap's model is so detailed and fits the lighting and placement so well. He always looks like in place but also out of place in the right way that a horror character should, because he looks in places like he doesn't look like he belongs in Poppy Playtime, for example. He doesn't look like he belongs in a different game. He looks like he should be here, but he looks like he shouldn't be in this building, if that makes sense. He feels correctly unreal and unnatural while still fitting the art style. And like, look at this render, like you can just barely see his eyes there. It takes advantage of the lighting. It's so, like, if you could just see these a smidge better, they're so good. And genuinely sometimes really freaky, with like the little bit of teeth there sticking out with the eyes. Oh, and this one's so good too. Just barely, like the bloodshot eye, just barely, like it's all great, man. It just is like it's not perfect. I'm not gonna pretend it is. It's jump scares lame. The Office could deal with a bit of work. Ooh, this is actually, for early game, this is good. So we're going to want to ditch that. Minus one hand size, I can deal with that. Currently running a deck, so you just add a bunch of cards. So that one's great. We're gonna have to sell this right away, but whatever. But I like the reveal of Springtrap a bit better than a lot of other stuff. I mentioned that already, but so I'm kind of circling. But it overall impresses me more than almost any other FNAF game ever has. I think my follow-up would be Into the Pit, the game version. This is one of those, like, this is why this Joker is so good. It's a great early game Joker. This is terrible late game. But it helps you build up a board so quickly and so rapidly. What would your sell price be? Okay, let's get a buffoon pack. Yeah, carry early, hindrance later. For now, let's do John. That's going to be hard to run. Caps. Ooh, that one's really interesting. Plus 31, plus 20 chips, plus for mold. I I can't really use that, though. Without really... Like, maybe in a different seed, that would be good, but not in this one. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Okay. Let me nuke my board a little bit. That's a bit more interesting. Yeah, 2 pair will clear my hand out some. We'll get some basic points on the board. And to segue to the graffiti, which I didn't get too much into, there's so much weird with Ruin that I'm still wondering about. Let's see, what do I have? I actually don't. I might get this just to stock up for when the banana goes. But for now, let's just hunt some Arcana. Lucky cards. Do I have a theme yet on my setup? Straights, face cards. I guess I just want to make my cards generally better, is what it really feels like. What topics are we doing on the Theorist Co-op stream? To be honest, I have no goddamn clue. They just invited me to this chat called the FNAF Avengers, and I'm like, cool. I don't know how I got here. I can't. That one gap is cool, but it's, I guess, yeah, it makes straights a bit more reliable, which means there is a Joker that makes straights pay out more. So let me play this Jack, hopefully get a lucky. Plus mold, plus chips. Like, we actually have a great board right now for the short time being. It's, what do I do as soon as this basic combo setup isn't going to help? There's stuff like, why does Ruin connect to FNAF World? Oh. That's going to pay out a bit more than the business card is. Because I'm going to get I'm going to get a lot from it with this currently. Because it gains sell value at the end of each round. Or is it just the round? Whatever. Arcana first. I don't really have flush as a gimmick right now. Like, being different suits isn't really beneficial right now. Must play 5 cards. That's fine if I've got 4, 7. Okay, not quite. Hold on. If I get a 6, if I get a 6, all right, full house it is. Because it's like, why is some stuff able to change in the VR world? Why, like, ignoring the why can it change, it's like, why would it? Like, why would the graffiti that's not encoded into the system, and yet it reacts in a way that would make you think it does? kind of want to just pocket the cash a little bit. But it's always good to fish for just basic cards, see if there's anything cool. Like, yeah, gold seal, why not? That's just a better 6 in many regards. And I've got a bunch of cash to burn now that I think about it, so. Has anyone tried putting your social security numbers in the logbook? I wonder. Oh, yeah, straight's kind of what we're going for. So I guess Saturn's going to be the main goal. I'm only keeping judgment for the inevitable time the banana goes off. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can go a little higher. We can go even higher because of our gimmick. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, the coloration of the deck doesn't really matter right now. Okay, so it does just keep... Okay, so these two are actually great together. These two are just going to scale the whole game. Because I didn't know if this was just... This might... If I... This one's a question mark, actually. Okay, Arcana are always good. Like, it feels like the Arcana are something you always want to open. Increase... Bonus... I do think it would be good to just start boosting everything. Like, just make the deck more valuable is what I really think this run's just going to be. Because the more weird shit I can chain together with the shortcut... Like, let's just... 10 jack catch. I just need an 8 or 9. This is not what I need. There we go. 9 to straight. I didn't play the one that had the molt on it for some reason. It really does not matter with the board I currently have, but like, this is a great... I'm waiting for this to go off because it inevitably will. But I'm actually... I might just start cashing out a bit, because I'm getting... Ooh. Oh, buy new. Does that replace... But I'm already making a lot of money, as tempting as this is now that I think about it. Like, I want to run the gold mask, but I'm kind of doing more anyway without it. Like I said, right now I'm just trying to widespread make my deck better. Oh, did I see the Help Wanted 2 update? I actually did, and I recorded something with it on my friend Tito's setup. Charge $1 per point. Like, that's fine in the setup. King, Queen, Jack. Oh. We have the setup. Like, turn 1. There's a card that makes it so you can play straights with only 4 cards. That might be good for this setup. The one problem with that is there's not really a multiplier on that. Like, that makes the gimmick more reliable, but it doesn't make it stronger. This one trigger. All cards play. Okay. I'm not really running this, but I have so much money, I'm just gonna burn it anyway. Still somehow keeping that around. Yeah, Tito. Blue Seal. Okay. I'm going to select that. And I think, because I actually don't want to play this that often, I want this just to kind of rot in my hand. I'll take the 2 seal cards, because I'm doing great. I can get other molt cards pretty easily. Which is not bad, but I would actually rather get 2 more to experiment with. Devil is gold. Diamonds. That's kind of tempting when I have this much money to burn through. Because that can help dodge some really bad boss blinds. And I sell this, I reroll, because there's not... There's not like a point to me making the deck more one suit. Really. Yeah, this is very much an anarchy chess style game, but it's with cards. Like I could try to, like, why did I even pick this up? Wild cards don't do anything in this deck setup. 7, 8, 9. Okay. The straight build. Almost there. Okay. What can I do with this? 7, 8. 7, 8. No. Hello. Okay, so right now, let me explain what just happened there. You might not even realize something just happened. My mini fridge is plugged into the same extension cord as my computer is. And usually that's not a problem, but if I have it running a little too high, it can cause my computer to not get enough power, because my computer's actually a little overclocked right now in terms of its power supply is a little low scale for what it needs. This card's really good, but this is very short term, and I've got a better setup than it currently. Keep that. So what happened there was it just overclocked a little bit, and then my USB and everything connected to the USB turns off for a moment to try and account for that. I should level up the straight flush eventually, but for now I just want the straight to be more powerful. This is going to be the most nutty. These two, if I can get this foil, which increases its multiplier rate, 4, 6, 8, 10. Does that not? 4, 5, skip 6. Oh, it's only 4 cards, that's a problem. I'll erase the normal. Oh, that was, well, whatever, it works. That's, oh, I skipped 8 now. Okay, let me play these two real quick. Just to get them out of my hand, and then I can free up the straight if this isn't enough. But it might be, given how busted this combo setup is already. There we go. It finally went out. So now I need the new Joker. Contains a pair. We're not going to get that a lot. That's really strong. Because, okay, so there's a difference between plus molt and times molt. This is times molt. So 1.5 to all of these numbers. That's worth investing and looking into a diamond-centric deck. For example, like this. So now we want to start making the deck as much diamond as possible. And then I want to run... We actually don't want a lot of repetition in the deck, so... I want to run Wheel of Fortune, because I want to get... Okay, never mind. Whatever. Okay, while we have this, we'll level up. Or not. Oh, wow, we spent a lot. Or I spent a lot. Whatever. Buffoon. See if we can get any good jokers. Contains +2 molt, contains 2 pair. No, I'm not running that in the deck. Devil, and then we get some gold. Ball Pit, Hallucination, or Time Travel. I'm incredibly torn on that, personally. It really feels like it wasn't time travel for the most part of FNAF's history with the pit until very recently. Okay, these are what I want to swap out. 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack. Okay, straight. Okay, that will work. I should have played the other... no, this might be the better one to play because I'm triggering it twice. And it's diamond. It was kind of just agony junk, but then Return to the Pit has now just enabled true time travel. Like, completely. I'm not talking like, oh, it might be. It's like... Chip as an adult remembers Oswald from the past in one scene from what I've heard / seen some pages of. I haven't gotten there in my playthrough of Return to the Pit yet, which I'm just kind of doing in my own time because I realized, and this is why I never did the week before stream, is I realized going through just a little bit so I could practice to see what it would be like. This one's a little too chaotic for me. I realized I didn't really like... Ooh. I think that... This is such a gambling card. This is funnier. And then there's an ending where you can... There's 2 endings, I think, where you can prevent the missing kids from all dying. Which has its own... And it affects the pit's properties if you do this. So I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Okay, so you want a lot of the low cards, in my experience, to be... Oh, I should have put that on the damn blue stamp. Yeah, in my opinion, the Into the Pit game world makes more sense than the Return to the Pit one does. Because, like I said, you shouldn't... It doesn't make sense to me that you can prevent an incident from happening at all in this universe. Unless you were there in that moment. What? Oh, okay. So the suit changes. Okay, so making it all one suit's bad. We want wild cards. Exactly. The pit's existence annoys me a little bit because of the implication that at any point anyone could have gone back in time. This is kind of tempting, even though it's not really. Like, it's foil, which is nice, but this is currently plus 100, for example, and this was what you would like sell it for theoretically in this roster, because the shortcut's kind of the center of the bill right now. Spectral pack. These are always strong. Not with this build. Screw it, why not? I mean, like, variety's good with this Joker, but we could always ditch this for the diamond increasing one. Steel card, molt cards. I'll make these molts. Stitchline feels so weird right now. It feels... Absolutely redeem that. That's worth it. Stitchline feels really unpredictable right now because it feels sort of like we have a lot of competing narrators, if that makes sense. Like, we have the same story. Let's clear a full house real quick, just so I can get that out of the way. Or that might be enough. Okay, it's half enough. 6, 7, 8. Okay. I kind of want to just do this just to clear a lot of money. And these are loading us. Yeah, I didn't even need to do this right properly. Yeah, so here's what's personally confusing about... Return to the Pit is the third retelling of the same story. Ooh. And is once again its own interpretation of the Pit storyline. It is a loosely, I would say... closest to the original Into the Pit short story, but it still adds a lot of weird little changes. That are really unpredictable. Like, this is one of the more subtle changes, for example, that I caught. That you might not even realize is a change until you realize, like, what... Or at least it might not even be a change. Okay, so... Obviously, if Return to the Pit is meant to be canon, it would have to be in the main area just the same as everything else. It would have to be in Hurricane, Utah, where FNAF 6 stated the series was set, and it's been set for some time. I bring that up because the locations... The series... I know these are debuffed, but it doesn't really matter in this case. Because it's the rest of the... setup that's what matters here. It's supposed to be in Hurricane, Utah, but the original short story mentions that Oswald's best friend Ben, and part of the reason he's so upset in the story, had moved away to some unknown location 400 miles away, and later mentioned that he had gone on vacation to Myrtle Beach. Now, it never specified whether he lived in Myrtle Beach or just moved near it, or just happened to be vacationing there, completely unrelated to where he lives. Well, why does that 400 matter? Well, you don't need to know much about geography, but 400 miles away from Myrtle Beach is nowhere near Hurricane in Utah. Like, those are comically far away locations. Those are more in the 1,000 range. Oh. Gee, I wonder which one I'm taking. thousands of miles away. But the new Return to the Pit version of the story says he lives in Myrtle Beach, which is very different implication-wise. Because that would mean it cannot just be the same continuity as Into the Pit, if that makes sense, or the original short story or the game, or just the original short story. The game's kind of unaffected by that line, because if he lives 400 miles away from where Ben moved, and Ben lives in Myrtle Beach now, according to Return to the Pit, he cannot be in Utah. So one of those two statements has to be wrong. If that makes sense. Is that the best thing? Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, Utah is the left bottom of the USA. Myrtle Beach is on the east coast. But they are... That is... I'm trying to think of another... That is like saying I live 400 miles away from Chicago when I live in Portland. It does not... That's not correct. The math is wrong. That, or we are implying the ball pit is a series of portals, which is a funnier implication. Suit changes every round. Discarding queen. And that's actually not as good as just the inherent money I make just by playing this deck setup. Oh, hold on. Let me just use that. Let's craft some more bolt cards while I'm just able to select stuff. Like I said, my goal here is just to make the overall deck better with this setup. But if I'm playing a straight, you want that variety. Left card into the right card. I think Wheel of Fortune's genuinely the best thing here. Oh, polychrome on that. Death, High Priestess, Planet cards. I think I'd rather have 2 tarot. Yeah, Portal Ball Pit genuinely might be an option with how weird and nutty. Death, Justice, Glass card, Random Joker. I think I want you. I might sell these because I'm not like changing the if I was aiming for a specific rank, if I was going for 10s for example, this would be good, but I'm not doing that. This might be a good back pocket to force a straight though. Yeah, it feels like there is almost no correct answer with Into the Pit, which is part of my frustrations with it. It feels like if you just tried to summarize it as, oh, Into the Pit is confirming or deconfirming Stitchline, it's like, that's not really what it says, though. That's going to be really high value. What it says is it just changes random elements of whatever came prior for whatever reasons it feels like, honestly. And it doesn't really feel like there's any method to the madness for that. Like I want to do either a Swax cast or maybe a more pre-planned video. I don't really have space for you, so sadly no. it is the evolving pit of madness. It just feels like it does whatever the hell it wants. Star. I guess. Why not? Like I said, that gives me a bailout in case I get to do like a reroll Joker. 2 pair, high card. Pair's more common. Oswald's not in his original universe. That I can't even deny that one. That's a weird one on the table, I guess, is that when he leaves, he enters a different universe. Dang, that's really close. Okay, hold on, let me... Oh, do I not get any discards? Well, if that's the case... Oh, and on the Stitchline, the Cassie receiver point. So what's weird is it kind of does and it kind of doesn't. It's a weirdly tricky interaction because... Sorry, I'm processing my board a bit. Hair is actually higher levels. Let me do these. So in the scene, Oswald is using a magic arcade machine, and he has the opportunity to prevent the missing kids from dying in the first place if he does this very Happiest Day-esque ritual with the kids, involving them cutting up cake, and all that. And you give them to the 5 kids. However, the purpose of this doesn't seem to really be to put the kids to rest like normal Happiest Day does. Instead, it's to prevent them from dying in the first place. And also, I think Susie's the final kid to get the cake. It's not very explicit. It says a girl with curly hair gets the final piece of cake, which sounds a lot like... That's really tempting. Because Spectral cards are really strong, but I don't know what I would... Do I trade you? I like this card, but we're getting enough crazy numbers as it is. But how many times am I... Like, let's look at this deck. Even though it has a noticeable bias towards Diamond, the amount of actual straight flushes we're going to get out of it is not going to be super common. So yeah, it says a girl with curly hair, which is already weird because Susie's the only missing kid with curly hair. The Cassidy that exists in the original novel, Fourth Closet, is described as having long black hair, and the art version of in the graphic novel had a black ponytail or a brown ponytail. And I mentioned that because it's like there's not like it would be weird to have Cassidy have curly hair out of nowhere when never been described that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I can do that to improve it. And I can do that to improve it even more. Secondly, the book actually does give us art of some of the missing kids, and one of them has 2 short pigtails. So it would have to be a complete redesign of both Cassidy and Susie if Cassidy now has curly hair and Susie has blackish kind of... It's black and white, so it's kind of hard to tell color scale wise, but like the grayish kind of colored pigtails. Or maybe black colored pigtails, I don't know. I don't remember. I saw it very briefly, but I did see that it was in the proper book final when I was skipping around just to see what was going on. Before my actual proper playthrough. Because I was just trying to make sure nothing... Cause sometimes books change a little bit. That's scarily good, actually. That might be one of the first things to replace. Because we're right there. This could give us one enhanced card. Bada bing, bada boom. Congrats. We now have ×3. Oh, that doesn't count? Whatever. 5, okay. 1, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that counts. Cool. So it would be weird just to argue it's like straight up Happiest Day when the purpose is different. We're missing half the cast of Happiest Day, which is the 5 weird misfit kids in Happiest Day. We're missing Charlie entirely. And it's like, I can't even say it's not Happiest Day. Because it kind of is. But also kind of isn't, which is what's weird about it. Okay. It's a really weird event in the series as a whole. Because it doesn't cleanly line up Happiest Day, but the setup overall sounds a lot like it, which is which I think is what's really throwing people off with it. Is like, I can't even deny it isn't similar to Happiest Day. I can't even say it's like not comparable. Because it definitely is, or at least it's trying to be kind of comparable. The question is, does that affect the Happiest Day that we saw in FNAF 3? Because those are different events for different purposes. Because like I said, one of them is elaborate time travel. One of them is you're changing what could have happened. Why would I not? That's the perfect one. Great. And I want your glass card now. Deal with it. I'm putting it on any card I'm willing to kind of lose. Stone, spades. I think of this roster, wild card's a little bit better, and then I can use strength on that to make it slightly higher value. Joyful moment. Play only. Ooh, this one's. It might have been better to re-roll that. But we do have a polychrome. Okay. So. We're just. Okay. Yeah. This is probably as good of a hand as I could get. I mean, I could make this a 10. That one chip is probably not going to be the make or break on it. Yeah, okay. I was a little worried there. But yeah, it was weird. It's a weird moment that I'm not sure is completely comparable to the Happiest Day we think of. No. Nah, I mean, tarot cards are always good. Sure, why not when I'm loaded right now, money-wise. I think we're going to clear Anti-8 pretty easily, honestly. And it might be, it might not be. I'm not really sure on it. Because if it is supposed to be cast, it becomes strongest evidence for Cassidy if the final girl is the one getting the cake, because that implies like that's part of the ritual, that's part of the process. However, if Cassie has curly hair, that also kind of undoes the evidence from the logbook, which then retroactively makes the connection less logical. At least in my opinion, like how you were meant to figure that out doesn't seem to make really as much sense. Ugh. Come on, give me something a little bit better. This was not better. Pair. I kind of have to play it that way. Just abuse basic good hand setup, I guess. Okay, 9. There we go. Yeah, if the here's the thing. If you say she's not the curly-haired girl, you lose that connection to Happiest Day, where it's basically just a completely different event. But that does imply Cassie's canonical design would look like the logbook girl, which then would corroborate each other. So it's like, you have to trade something in this case, if that makes sense. Hell yeah. I think Ceres is the spectral card or astral card that, because at this point our goal is just to buff the straight as much as possible. Mercury flush straight. Ooh, we want to upgrade that at least once. We don't want the, because it does take the highest possible value. It doesn't take what you want per se. For what it calculates. That's kind of a tempting card, honestly, but it kind of ruins the straight build. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. Bleh. That's covered. Because I don't want to have that one card remaining. There we go. Like, those individual combos like that on the red seals are going to be some of the most absurd setups in this. And... oh, I forgot I can get an extra Joker when I see one. DCI Lefty is an interesting premise. I haven't really heard a lot of evidence that I'm like, oh yeah, of course, with it. 3 of a kind. That's not bad for now. Just one steel card's not that bad. Because if you put it on those lower values, you're never going to play. Okay, it's just very big. That's all. Okay. Discard this. It's almost... here, let me... I don't want to do it, but that's the best. Alright. Completely inoptimal, but whatever. We might be thrown on this alone. Seven. Oh my god, is this really all it's gonna be? Like, it's all gonna end on this, just with bad discards? Okay. Oh wait, I can still play these. It will get them out of my hand even if it's not. Okay. I still lose. I still lose. Just 10. Yeah. I still lose. Because I'm not getting an extra hand out of this. That sucks. Alright, new run. There are no face cards. That's interesting. So what is it? Okay, so it literally just removes the face cards. Okay. I was wondering if there was like another gimmick to it or not. No. Yeah, suffering is the way of return to the pit. In my opinion, it's... I feel like it's the hardest to interpret book of them all right now, because it feels like it's saying so many different things, and it's not clear what any of that means. What does the Avengers route of the Pit Lord tell us? That's... I could not believe that was real, to be honest. Yeah, it doesn't even start out that weird. It starts out pretty normal, minus some, like, odd implications. It's the long term of it that's really weird about it. Molt, Buffoon. Give me... This might be a funny thing to experiment with. Hold on. So, what is the... I'm trying to speculate what I even do with this deck setup. Oh, it also implies people... Yeah, it does imply that people just know time travel is possible in the Pit universe. Which is its own bizarre, fascinating implication. And it also makes every character dumber in retrospect, because it means Charlie's, Cassidy, Michael, and Henry, none of them ever figured out that time travel is possible, despite apparently being known to the area. Like, or at least none of them even tried it, because even if you could say that it wasn't real time travel, there isn't even an implication that they tried to do it. Because, like, when Oswald does this stuff, it, like, affects the present day as if someone had done it. So, you're telling me Michael never, across 30 years of this damn ball pit existing, 40, actually, from 1985, never once, like, went into it once, never heard about its properties once, and never was like, oh, but what if I prevented the kids from dying in the first place? What if I did that? Why didn't Henry ever try to do that? Why didn't Charlie ever try to do that? I have an idea. I think I know what I'm going to do with this deck. This is going to be the ace run, because I've seen ace support jokers. And they are theoretically a high value card. I haven't read The Week Before as much as I would like, honestly. Oh, I should have turned these into molt cards. Yeah. The Week Before, from what I have seen of it and read of it, it is better, in my opinion, than let's go just right there, man. I wish there was something better. I get a stone card. Because that's like the only thing left that can really save me. 5, 6. Another, like, dead run. I mean, I guess I could do that. For the 3 of a kind there, it's not really worth it, but... Oh, okay, that's enough. Pit Trap is Trap 2099. Time is relative in the Pizzaplex. It's such a weird, like... It's part of why no one ever argued it was real prior. It's because it didn't make sense to be real. Like, that implication doesn't make any sense. So what I'm doing, what my theory is I'm going to start duplicating the aces and stocking up on stone cards. And start killing all these low value cards, so it's only the high value cards left. If it gets any further than that, we get to do cool stuff, I guess. New stone. 9, 8, 7, we're missing 6. 6. That'll work. This doesn't count as an 11, does it? No. It counts as a 13. Or whatever. But depending on Deltarune, I really like it. I'm a fan of pretty much any Toby Fox project in general at this point. We're not a fan of it. What was the fun farming game? That one was neat, but like... obviously not what I'm like exceptionally into. The thing is, like, to try and keep it not time traveling, while I kind of want to still, it's so indiscernibly close from it that I'm not even sure what the difference is anymore. This would have been good to get last time. Like, the difference between the two concepts has gotten so narrow that I couldn't even tell you, like, what the real practical difference is in the story anymore. Because Chip knows what Pit Trap is. The citizens loosely know what it is, and that it's possible. And if they do, then what is the difference? For you or me, reading the story. Deltarune is unknown what it's set in, but it seems to be its own continuity entirely. Like, Deltarune uses the Undertale characters, but is its own thing. Still created by Toby Fox. It is more of a spiritual successor with the same cast than it is. This one seems like a really hard one to use to its full potential, honestly. Because you can't actually get reliable straights with this. You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Because this is not 600. But it's like, what was I supposed to... I want to try this one again. Also, why didn't William use time travel also is the question. Or is Pit Trap the result of him using it? Like, the implications feel so scattered. That, like, the implications of it just don't feel conducive to the story as it was prior. It doesn't feel like it adds much to the story as much as it just makes it different. Thoughts on the unweathered animatronics? I'm on the retrofit theory. It's like they were probably meant to be redesigned for the new location and updated, and so they tweaked the costumes. Then they realized, wow, we made them really ugly. So they didn't do that anymore. And then they just left them to rot there half finished. This is a... I'm gonna grab this. Because you can do some interesting sauce with this card. Because you can do stuff like this. This is not a full house. This is just me stealing the multiplier from a 3 of a kind. Or a 2-pair in this case. So what Splash does is it makes it so any card added to the roster counts, even if it isn't a part of the set you're playing. So, like, normally I would only get the multiplier of these 2 6s, for example, and nothing else would count. But now I can throw that ace in there and stuff, and that will count. Honestly, yeah. What if we learned that after the events of Man in Room 1280, William struggled his way back to the pit into a new Spring Bonnie costume, put it on, and then went back into the pit to try and prevent time travel, but got caught in like a time loop or some garbage, and that makes him Pit Bonnie? What if that's the answer? Who fucking knows? I don't even know how I would feel if that turned out to be the case. Everything post-Scott era is agony for time travel. It feels scarily close to that destination, I can't even lie. There's a game from 2010. Well, it's a game series. Existed prior for quite a while, called Hoyle Puzzle and Board Games. The main entry I know is from 2010. Though there was a few incarnations prior to it that I'm also very familiar with. Please. Oh. Hermit. Sure. I guess any high value card is worth multiplying right now. All diamonds are debuffed. Oh no. What the hell is that banging? Agony might be the most powerful thing in the FNAF universe now. It feels like it gets a new power almost every Fright's entry or Fright's adjacent thing. Doesn't really count to anything, but I just want to get some garbage out of my hand.